Hey, Pete here. It's my pleasure to be talking with Mark Gaisford of RedSprout. Now you might be interested to wonder what is RedSprout, and that's why I've got Mark in, because I'm interested as well to find out a little bit about RedSprout. And Mark, I've got to say, really good to have you here.
And yeah, thanks for having me.
It's a pleasure. Thanks for coming in. So Mark, tell us firstly, what's RedSprout and your background story?
We are a specialist marketing recruitment business, so we work with a number of marketing agencies, advertising agencies, and also large sort of corporate clients to help them find talented people. That's the core of our business. It's what we do, and we're in a tough market at the moment. We're finding talent is really difficult. So often businesses are coming to us now asking for our help to uncover those little gems. I've always been in this industry.
Okay.
I've been in it for 25 years, and in various guises. I mean, back in the what was it called, when the dot-com bubble, and I started a job board back then, because you kind of thought that if you had a URL, you were a multi-millionaire without doing anything. I mean, that was almost the case actually. Certainly the valuations. So yeah, I've been in this industry for a long time. And just got fed up going into London, to be honest with you, and getting on that trek, and so thought the best thing to do was actually start my own business.
Can I ask why the name RedSprout? How's that coming? Because if we talk about marketing agencies, we have all sorts of names, but RedSprout.
Well, what's wrong with a coloured vegetable? I mean, it's on trend, I think, isn't it? Really, everybody, and actually, it was spurious enough that people were kind of intrigued and wanted to know a little bit more about it. So, and everyone's called XYZ Recruitment or something like that. So we just wanted to be different, and we were specifically in the marketing space. And you can certainly play with stuff a lot more if you're in that creative industry. So and it was available on 123 Reg.
So you say you've been in the industry for about 25 years. How long was RedSprout?
Oh, only 3. We're coming up for the 3rd anniversary, so we're 3 in May.
And you're based in Canterbury, yeah?
We're based in central Canterbury,
nice.
Which is a lovely location to be working in. But yeah, 3rd birthday coming up now.
Well done.
I know.
Fantastic.
Made it through the first 3. How many small businesses fail during their first few years? The numbers are ridiculously high, aren't they?
It's 80% in the first 5 years.
There you go. I've made it to 3.
You're
Fingers crossed, touch wood for the next 2.
And how many staff do you have, Mark?
Me plus 3.
Yep.
At the moment, so we're all about organic growth. We've not got any investment in the business. We believe in growing it slowly, surely, getting clients on board, and then reinvesting that money into the business to grow it further and further and further. And I've been offered opportunities to give away a proportion of the business for cash injection and all the rest of it. And I'm not really that interested in it. I'd rather grow that organically and see that go through. And that I know that takes longer, but it's mine. It's my ideas. It's my passion. And I feel if I gave some of it away, I'm giving away a bit of my soul, really. So I kind of want to keep it as my business, and we'll then offer shares to the existing staff members, and we'll have a bunch of people that are all really invested in the business as we grow on from there.
Fantastic. So, Mark, in the 3 years that you've been going, tell us what's been the biggest achievement? What's the biggest excitement you've had in the business so far?
I think there's so many, but I think actually winning your first client, when you actually find it almost unbelievable that someone's ringing you and saying, can you do business with me? Whoa, really? Someone actually wants to trade with me? That's crazy. So that's always super exciting. And then we won a client, which I won't mention the name of, but we won a client that, in all honesty, for the size of the business that we are, we shouldn't have won, because they were colossal. And it was only until I think I actually got to the client meeting and saw their logo above their front door that I actually believed that it was them and someone wasn't taking the mickey, because it was just completely out of kilter with who we were as a business. I mean, it fitted us beautifully, but we shouldn't be able to win that sort of business. It's the bigger corporate companies that would win that kind of business. So
that's interesting you say that, though. Why then do you think they chose you?
Because we're doing something differently.
Brilliant.
That's the reason why. We've done a lot of work across social media. we build our brand, and I think we think of ourselves not as a recruitment company. We think of ourselves as a media organisation first and a recruitment company second. So it is all about how we promote not just our brand, RedSprout, but actually ourselves personally into the marketplace. And so we are, and some people would probably argue we are too much out there, but we are very out there. And our brand, I think, has grown probably bigger than actually the size of our organisation. People perceive us to be bigger than we actually are.
So it's really interesting you say that. We've heard about the success, and I think it's a really good one. What have you found are the challenges? And most business owners, we all have challenges. Share with us the challenges you've had from starting off to where you are today.
There's a couple, and I think number one is cash flow. Number one, I think any small business, you don't manage against. I mean, you come out of big corporates if you've done that sort of career, and you're thinking in terms of profit and loss and all the rest of it, balance sheets and all the rest of it. When you're a small business, it's all about cash. It's all about having the money in the bank. And living within your means, actually. And so we don't spend a lot of money. We're very careful with the cash that we spend. We work in a rabbit hutch of an office because that's what we can afford to do. So, I mean, my number one piece of advice to anybody starting a business is just watch your cash. Manage your cash really, really carefully.
That's a really good point. Do watch your cash. That's so important. Great call, Mark. Carry on.
What was the other part of the question? I've forgotten now. I went on for a little ramble then.
No, that's fine. We were just looking at the challenges you've faced.
Yeah. And I think the other one is how you generate business. And I took, because it's natural, when you've got no clients, you go chasing clients. And it becomes very sales focused, and you fall into this trap of promoting your business, promoting your product, promoting your service, and you go into sell mode. And actually, you need to take a step back and give, not sell. Because the more you give, the more you're perceived as the expert, and no word of a lie, people come to you when you are perceived as the expert because they want to access your expertise. So, we've always said that: give first and sell later. And we did that in fact, I did a talk at LinkedIn Live with the very subject actually is give.
Brilliant. Because what goes around comes around, doesn't it?
It always comes back. I mean, clearly there's an ulterior motive in giving because you want business to come your way. But actually, if you take people part way on a journey, then they'll get enthused about that as well. They'll always come to you ultimately because you're the expert. So it comes back. Always.
I'm loving hearing this. It's just really good to hear. Yeah. So we've heard RedSprout. It's a coloured.
A coloured vegetable.
Vegetable. I love it. So that's obviously differentiates you from your competitors. What else differentiates you from your competitors, Mark?
There's one word, and the word is video, but that doesn't really explain it. So we invest more in our customers, I think, than our competitors do. So when we go in to talk about a vacancy, a role that they might have, we take our video camera with us. We challenge the hiring managers and the company owners on why a candidate would want to work in their organisation. We're not so much focused on the list of skills and experience they have. The big question for us is why? Why would anybody leave their job and come and work for you? And if they can answer that, we get that on video, and that touches people's hearts rather than their heads.
Wow.
And we push that across social media and sell the story of why you would want to come and work for this individual. It's not even necessarily why you want to come and work for this company, but why would you want to come and work for Mark? Or why would you want to come and work for Pete? And we capture that on video, and that's our job description, and we put that across social media to capture people's attention. And then we do the same process with our candidates. So we'll get them on video calls, and we will challenge them around what they've done, what they're looking to do, why they will, etc., etc., etc. And we introduce both parties to each other using video, so that the job and the candidate aren't just pieces of paper, but they actually come to life. The problem with that, from a commercial business perspective, is it takes time. It takes time to shoot a video, as you guys know, and edit that video. It takes time for us to do that with a candidate. But we've never lost a candidate. We've always got it right, because that matching process and making sure those two are actually fixed together and would work together always seems to work. So I think it's spending the time, putting in the attention.
As well as the time, is that also giving value as well?
Massive, massive. Yeah, because I mean, a lot of our clients actually, their employer branding has risen massively, because they're seen out in the marketplace as a destination employer, a place that people want to work. So they start, I wouldn't go as far as they're getting queues of people around the front door saying they want to work, but when they're putting out job ads and things like that, they're getting more inquiries than they had before.
Yep.
So it works for both. And we've kind of become a destination recruiter for candidates who want to work in the marketing space, because we're well known as well. So it works for everybody.
Yeah. Fantastic. So you've been going 3 years.
Yep.
What do the next 3 to 5 years look like for RedSprout?
I'm a bit of I'm an ideas man. I'm not really a planner, and so I've employed people that are much more planning minded than me. Always employ the people that are better at stuff than you are. You said that's another top tip. Always employ people that are better than you are at certain stuff. And so I think the evolution for us will be still within recruitment, still within our marketing discipline, but it will be now wider than just Kent. So we'll probably start to geographically spread our wings around the southeast more than we have done before. We've been pretty much exclusively Kent up to now.
Fantastic. Wow. So there's an expansion of
Yep.
wings.
Absolutely.
Good on you. Well done. Well done.
As long as we can afford it, Pete. As long as we can afford it.
Well, we've talked about cash flow, and I
Exactly.
think you've obviously got a handle on that. And I would imagine doing cash flow forecasts.
Yeah.
So you actually know you've got a good handle on that.
Exactly.
And I think that's a really good tip, because one of the things I was going to ask you is that, do you have any other tips that you would give business owners that are in a similar vein, that they've been there 3 years, what do they need to do to move forward?
I'm a bit of a rebel, so I would say challenge the norms, actually. So the phrase I hate the most is "we've always done it this way."
Yeah.
Because if you've always done it this way, you'll always get the same thing. And actually, I think especially small business, because small business can move at a pace that big corporates can't. Actually, just look at the process, look at the way that business is conducted by your competitors at the moment, and challenge it. And is there a better, more efficient, better way that you can deliver that service, that product to your customers? And try. And if you fail fast. But try, do something different. Don't just do it because we've always done it this way.
Would I be allowed to say that it's actually not a failing, it's actually a learning? Because if you learn
Too
from
right.
that you haven't failed, you thought, right, that's not
That's
a way
exactly
to do it.
right.
Yeah. Was it Thomas Edison, I think, said he hasn't found 10,000 failures, he's found 10,000 different ways the light bulb
Doesn't work. Exactly. Yeah, absolutely.
Fantastic. Mark, is there anything else at this stage that you'd like to enlighten us on with RedSprout?
Don't think so. No, don't think so.
Look, I'm fascinated. RedSprout, it's a coloured vegetable. I've learned that, but I've also learned that it's a marketing and creative recruiting agency. And Mark, I've got to say, it's been really fantastic talking with you today.
Thank you.
And congratulations on the first 3 years. It's been
Yeah.
fascinating. And I can just see some really good things for the next 3
Let's
to
hope
5
so.
years as well with the expansion. Thank you for your time.
No problems at all.